Hello students. Students, welcome in English class. And today we are going to start 8th chapter, The Hack Driver. Hack means horse cart. So the hack driver means the horse cart driver. The story Hack Driver revolves around main two characters. One is a young lawyer and another is Oliver Lutkins. The young lawyer comes to the village to serve summons on Oliver Lutkins. But so far he has not seen Oliver Lutkins. So the hack driver helps him round the village in search of Lutkins. So in the story we will read how he finds Lutkins and how he knows about Lutkins. So now let's start the chapter in detail. After graduating with honors, I became a junior assistant clerk in a magnificent law firm. Magnificent means very fine, very impressive. Now the author starts the story by his own introduction. He starts his own introduction by saying that after he had completed his graduation, he started a job as a junior assistant clerk. And he started his job in a magnificent, very fine, very impressive law firm. I was sent not to prepare legal briefs, but to serve summons like a cheap private detective. Now, he says here about his work. His work was not to prepare legal papers, and his work was only to serve summons like a cheap private detective. Whereas he was a young lawyer, and his work is to collect legal papers, to prepare legal papers, but he was not given this work. He was given the work to serve summons. And he compared his work as a cheap private detective. I had to go to dirty and shadowy corners of the city to seek out my victims. And for this, he had to go to very dirty places, very dark corners of the cities to find his victims. As he didn't like his work, so he calls to the persons whom he served summons, he called them victims. Some of the larger and more self-confident ones even beat me up. I hated this unpleasant work and the side of my city life it revealed to me. And even the persons whom he served summons, some of them were larger and even some more self-confident ones, and sometimes he was beaten up by them. As maybe the reason that they avoided the official orders, they avoided the summons, so that's why the young lawyer was sometimes beaten by them, and the young lawyer hated this unpleasant work as he had seen this side of the city life that was revealed to him by this work. He did not like this work. I even considered fleeing to my hometown. Fleeing means to run away, where I could have been a real lawyer right away without going through this unpleasant training period. Now, he didn't like this work, and most of the time he had thought to run away to his own hometown where he would work just like a real lawyer and he would not have to go through this unpleasant training period. So, this was his training period as a junior assistant clerk. He didn't like this work because he was given the work to serve summons, whereas he was a young lawyer. He never got the chances to prepare legal papers, and most of the times he was beaten by the persons who were self-confident, who were larger than him, who as compared to him. He was beaten up by them and he hated this work. So that's why he wanted to go back to his own city. So I rejoiced one day when they sent me out 40 miles in the country to a town called New Mullion. I rejoiced. One day he was very much happy when he was sent to a new town called New Mullion to serve summons on a man called Oliver Lutkins. We needed this man as a witness in a law case, and he had ignored all our letters. Now one day he was very much happy when he was sent out 40 miles away in the country, and this was the town New Million. He had to serve summons to a person, and the name of the person was Oliver Lutkins. As his firm needed this man as a witness in a law case, and he had ignored all their letters. Oliver Lutkins had not accepted their letters, he had ignored, but the firm needed him as he was a witness in a law case. When I got to New Million, my eager expectations of a sweet and simple country village were severely disappointed. Now, when he reached to New Million, the town New Million, he became very much disappointed. He was unhappy as he had expected that he would go to a very sweet and simple country village, but his eager expectations were severely disappointed. He was not happy now. Its streets were rivers of mud, with rows of wooden shops either painted a sour brown or bare of any paint at all. The reason was the streets of the village were full of mud. Even there were some wooden shops, and some of the shops were painted with the brown color and some were without any paint. As he had expected that he would go to a very sweet village, to a simple country village, but he became disappointed as he found that the streets of the village were full of mud and there were only wooden shops, even they were not painted at all. The only agreeable sight about the place was the delivery man at the station. But one thing he liked at the place, that was the delivery man whom he met at the station. He was about 40, red-faced, cheerful, and thick about the middle. His working clothes were dirty and well worn. And he had a friendly manner. You felt at once that he liked people. Now, then he talks about the delivery man. He tells about his appearance. Now here young Lore says about him that he was 40 years old. He was red-faced and he looked very happy. And he was thick about the middle. He was a little fat. But from his clothes, he was looking in very poor condition because his clothes were very much dirty and they were torn out. They were well worn. But he had a friendly manner. And you felt at once that he liked people. And when the young Lore says here that if you would see him, that you will feel that he liked people. So in this para he says about the condition of the village where he went, to the New Million where he went, and also he tells about the person, the delivery man whom he met at the station. He tells about his appearance. I told him, to find a man named Oliver Lutkins. Then the conversation between the delivery man and the young Lore starts, and the young Lore tells him that he has come here to find a man and the name of the man is Oliver Lutkins. Lutkins, I saw him around here about an hour ago. Hard fellow to catch though, always up to something or other. He's probably trying to start up a poker game in the back of Fritz's shop. Poker game means a type of card game. I'll tell you, boy, is there any hurry about locating Lutkins? Then the delivery man tells him that he had seen Lutkins about an hour ago, and then he also tells that it is very hard to find Lutkins as he would always be seen doing something. He always be found doing something. As also he says that now at this time he is trying to start his poker game in the back of Fritz's shop. And then he tells him that he will tell about him about Lutkins, and then he asks about if he was in hurry, why he hurriedly wanted to find Lutkins. Yes, I want to catch the afternoon train back to the city. I was very important and secret about it. And then young Lore told him that Yeah, he was really in hurry because he had to catch the afternoon train also back to the city, and it was very important to find him, and there is something secret about it. I'll tell you what, I have got a hack. Then he tells him that I'll tell you about Lutkins as I have got a hack also. I have a horse cart. I'll get it out and we can drive around together and find Lutkins. Then he says that we both can find Lutkins as I will take my hack with me and we will both drive around together and find Lutkins. I know most of the places he hangs out. Hangs out means he spends his time uh, in leisure time. Now he tells him that he would help him in finding Lutkins as he knows most of the places where he spends time leisurely. He was so open and friendly that I glowed with the warmth of his affection. Glowed means here he was very much impressed. Now he says here about the delivery man that he was so open, he was so friendly that the young lawyer was impressed with his affection. I knew, of course, that he wanted the business, but his kindness was real. And also, young lawyer says here that after conversation with him, I had come to know that he wanted the business. He wanted to earn money from the young lawyer, but actually he was kind also. I was glad the fair money would go to this good fellow. And also, young lawyer was very much happy that the fair money would go to this good fellow. I managed to bargain down to $2 an hour, and then he brought from his house nearby a sort of large black box on wheels. Here, the large black box on wheels means here the horse cart, the horse carriage. Now he says here that I hired uh, the hack driver, and he decided that he would give him $2 for an hour. And also he tells here that he brought his house from the nearby from his house, and it was a large black box on wheels. It was a horse cart. He remarked, well, young man, here is the carriage. And his wide smile made me into an old friend. And then the hack driver came out and he told him that here was the carriage, and he also gave a smile, and that smile, after feeling that smile, the young lord said that I found that he is a very old friend of mine. These villagers are so ready to help a stranger. He had already made it his own task to find Oliver Lutkins for me. And also, he came to know one thing about the villagers, that the villagers of that village were very helpful. They were very much friendly, as the hack driver was ready to help him, and he had made it his own task to find Oliver Lutkins. He said, I don't want to interfere, young fellow, but my guess is that you want to collect some money from Lutkins. Now, the hack driver started conversing with young lawyer, and also he told him that he didn't want to interfere in his matters, but he was guessing only that he wanted to collect some money from Lutkins. He never pays anybody a cent. He still owns me 50 cents on a poker game. And also he says that he never pays anybody a cent. He means to say that whenever he lends something from someone, he never pays his debt. And also he himself also has to take 50 cents from Oliver Lutkins on a poker game. And then he says, I was fool enough to play with him. And also he calls himself fool because he had played poker game with Lutkins. Even he knew about him, about his habit, that he never returns money, he never pays the debts. Even then he played game with him and he became a fool person. He is not really bad, but it's hard to make him part with his money. And also he appreciates Oliver Lutkins, that he's a very good person, but there is one weakness, that he never pays his debt. If you try to collect from him in those fancy clothes, he'll be suspicious and get away from you. And then he suggests young lawyer that if you would go before him in fancy clothes, he would become suspicious, he would come know about you, and he would get away from you. If you want, I'll go into Fritz and ask for him, and you can keep out of sight behind me. And also he says, if you want, I'll go into Fritz's house, as earlier he had said that he was going to start poker game in Fritz's shop, and now he says him that if you want, I'll go into Fritz's shop and ask him about Oliver Lutkins, and you will out of sight behind me. You will keep yourself out of sight behind me, means you will hide yourself. I loved him for this. By myself, I might never have found Lutkins. With the hack driver's knowing help, I was sure of getting my man. And now, young lawyer again appreciates the hack driver, and he says here that I might never have found Lutkins if hack driver would not have helped me. And now he was very sure of getting my man. He was very sure of getting Oliver Lutkins. I took him into my confidence and told him that I wanted to serve the summons on Lutkins. Now, he took him into confidence and told the reason why he had come to the village. He told him that he wanted to serve the summons on Lutkins. Whereas, in the starting, he had told him that it was a secret, but now he exposed his secret, he revealed his secret. And he told him why he had come to the village, and he told him he wanted to serve the summons on Lutkins. That the man had refused to be a witness when his information would have quickly settled our case. And also he tells the reason why he wanted to serve the summons. He told him that the Lutkins was the man who he was a witness in their one of the case, and with his information they would very quickly settle the case, but he was not going to help them. The man Lutkins had refused to be a witness. The driver listened earnestly. At the end, he hit me on the shoulder and laughed. Well, we'll give Brother Lutkins a little surprise. And now, the driver was listening very earnestly. He was listening him very carefully, very attentively. And then he hit his hand on the shoulders of the young lawyer and he started laughing. And then he told him that he assured him that they will together find Lutkins and it will be a big surprise to the Lutkins. So let's start, driver. The young lawyer tells him, so let's start finding Lutkins. So students, this is enough for the day. And in the next class, we will continue the chapter and we will read how he finds Lutkins and how he becomes successful in serving summons. Okay students, thank you and have a nice day.